And we're live on air. Welcome everybody to the Android Coliseum Hangout show. This is number 89. We're, well into September here now, and it's back to school, and
For
Back to
some
what?
people
some. I mean,
in BC, it's not back to school.
yeah, that's terrible. I have to say, as a union person from the Ontario Secondary Student Teachers Federation, that's sad to see what's happening in BC. But that's a whole political thing we might want to get into. But
I'm just going to say that I find it weird that a Liberal government is doing that, where the Alberta PC government just says, "Oh, let's settle those union things."
yeah, that's so
It's
backwards.
just weird.
Anyways,
In
there's a
terms
bit
of
of Canadiana for everybody. You get a little bit of Android tech news, and you get a little bit of politics.
and
It's like a
confusion.
Tim
And what
Hortons
about weather?
weather. I heard there was snow, Cass.
Oh, yeah.
Not here in Calgary. Meanwhile, Martin is enjoying. What did you say?
Plus 30 weather. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Canada, the land of extremes.
Yeah, we've been sitting around 27, 28. Today was like our first cold day of rain.
No, it wasn't, because it was cold the whole time I was out in Vancouver in August.
That's because you brought it with you.
But I mean, we kind of sit in the valley, so that's why.
What's that?
We kind of sit in the valley here, so that's why.
Yeah, that little banana belt you guys got going there in Southern Ontario is just like the perfect region for weather. Alrighty, so yeah, this is our Tim Hortons chat. We're going to talk about some politics, we're going to talk about some weather, but mostly we're going to talk about some Android. So, welcome everybody, number 89 here. For those of you that tuned in before, we have the chat room up on our website. We have the Google Doc live. You can see what, and again, you guys can comment, you guys can tweet, you guys can do whatever on G+, Facebook to join the
And I'm on
conversation.
chat.
You're on the chat? Yeah, I know.
I am.
So, by all means, I mean, plenty of ways to interact. We look forward to this interaction, especially there's a lot to talk about today. We're going to forego the App Coliseum and the tip of the week just to get through some of these topics. There's a lot of interesting things going on right now. So let's just dive right into it. So Samsung had their event today, along with Sony. We'll talk about Samsung first. So the ever-anticipated Note 4 came out, and looks pretty cool. I mean, that's got a lot of neat features. I mean, it's definitely an iteration jump. It's kind of mixing that Galaxy Alpha with the metal design and this S5 with the thumbprint scanner. So kind of interested. So Martin, I think you were looking kind of interested and excited.
Well, I mean, having had a Note 2 previously, and I've skipped the actual Note 3, the actual Note 4 looked pretty interesting to me, and from what I've understood, they've done a lot of improvement. So I might be looking forward to play with it as soon as it's available for me.
Yeah, I mean, especially the pen. Like I don't know how much more sensitive they can make that pen, the S Pen. How much more sensitive they can make it, because like the Note 3 was amazing. The Note 2 is pretty good, like miles above the Note 1. The Note 2 is pretty good. The Note 3 was awesome.
It was perfect, actually. It worked pretty good, and the gesture that you could do with the pen was all around to everything. You could just do anything with that pen.
Yeah, so kind of interesting. I mean, the one thing I haven't seen officially, I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but I haven't heard officially, so I'm assuming it's not, but people were saying it might be water resistant, but I'm thinking the fact that it's more metal like the Alpha, that it's not going to be water resistant. It's just going to have the thumbprint scanner like the S5.
It would be nice if it was water resistant, but I'm not going to get my hopes up on that one.
Yeah, I don't think that you care too much. I mean, Tom will tell you, and Mark, if they were in, is they would talk about how the Sony Z2, Z1 were having a waterproof or water-resistant phone is an awesome kind of feature. That's really, I think, where the next level where a lot of the phones are going to go.
As long as we don't get bathroom pictures.
So with the Note series, I'm actually with Samsung on this one. I've had all three versions of the Note, obviously except for the 4 coming out, and I've had the Samsung phones too. I've had every single one of those, like the S series, and I find the bloatware on the Note is actually much more useful than the bloatware that's on the S3, S4, S5.
Yep.
I had the S5 was a little. I'm not so sure about that one, but the Note again, everything's much more useful, and I'm looking forward to what they have to offer.
So would you be thinking of getting the Note 4 yourself, Tom? At least give it a try, or?
I might try it. I don't know if I'd actually go out and buy it because I'm still dazzled by my Z2. But I mean, it's definitely a phone that I might recommend after trying it, because I mean, as you guys are talking about the stylus, right around the Note 2 is when Wacom got involved and really started hyping that stylus up. The Note series is definitely the highlight of the Samsung line in my eyes, but I mean, I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I think again the Note 4 I think is an amazing, but yeah, I mean, the stylus would be really really cool. I'm just waiting. I want to try it. Martin?
I mean, one of the other things that actually captured me about the Note 4 is the dual Wi-Fi band that they have on it. I mean, I'll be able to go dual Wi-Fi on my wireless and AC, and actually be able to transfer a 10 megabit file in under a second, which you can't do right now on any of the actual Wi-Fi devices you have for your smartphones. So this is going to be interesting because it's going to be even faster. So it's going to make use of the new LTE that's being put out everywhere. So instead of being your cap at 75 Mbps, you'll be able to get that 150 Mbps.
Do you really use a lot of that big files? Like, if I don't really do big files on my phone.
I rarely plug this phone into a USB. Everything is transferred to Wi-Fi. So sometimes if I grab a file and it's about a gig size, I mean, it usually takes about 7 minutes to transfer. If I can do this under a second, I'll be freaking happy.
Yeah. The other neat thing that to talk about the Note 4, the only mention they mentioned of very shortly was 0 to 50 in 30.
Mm-hmm.
So 0 to 50% charge in 30 minutes. So that's very much like the VOC charging that's in the Find 7. So it's kind of interesting to see how that works out too. So
it would be nice to see.
Cool.
I mean, if you can charge 0 to 50 in under a couple of minutes, an hour, that'd be great.
Yeah. Cass is asking, would it be in 32 gigabytes? I do believe it has the option for 64.
It should.
It should come default nowadays.
Our Canadian Note 3 came with 32 gigs.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember them making any smaller version with 32 or 64.
It was 32 or 64?
Yeah, it is 32 and up to 64.
Okay. Sylvain, you had a comment?
Yeah, I wonder, like, people use that more as it's still a phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Note 4?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I could go even bigger than my OnePlus. It's already 5.5. I thought, oh, that's the max I can go, but I look at it now, kind of cool.
The bezels are actually smaller.
Sorry, Tom?
I was saying the physical phone itself is actually not much bigger than what you have now. It actually shrunk down the bezels to give that extra 0.2 inch in your hand. Cool. So it actually doesn't actually feel bigger. Just the screen is more occupying the phone more usefully than the OnePlus is.
Well, isn't the Note 3 the same size at 5.3 or sorry 5.7?
Yes.
5.7 and that's it's just that the 5 it's the 1+1 is a 5.5, eh? Yeah, like
yes.
There's a lot of top and bottom on the 5.5. Sort of 1.1+1. So it really fills it out. There's a lot of numbers going around with these phones and acronyms we got to keep straight. Okay, so similar to the Note 4 that came out, they also mentioned the Note Edge. And we saw this back at CES as a prototype. People were talking about it. Cassie, had a comment?
Oh, that's okay. You can just keep going.
So the Note Edge here. So basically take your Note 4, which I thought would be the exact same Note 4, but it's not. It's actually a few specs different. It's a 5.6 inch display. It's a 1920 is it 20 or is it 2560 or 1440? And then it has the 160 strips. So it has that little strip down the side. So imagine there's your phone, and then on the side it has a curved edge, and then it'll have like a ticker tape of your Twitter stream or notifications that you can scroll with. So I mean, it's very cool looking, but I don't know how much more of it's going to be kind of gimmick. And Tom, I think you were kind of eyeing that up and talking about this pre-show.
I looked at it and I was just like, no. Because you got like a Twitter ticker stream. So what you're saying is, I have a banner on my phone, and you know developers are going to take advantage of that. You're going to get a game from the Samsung store made for Samsung, and look, there's an ad banner occupying that cool part of the screen. I believe it falls under the same.
There are a lot of parties develop for it, so it'd be kind of interesting to see would they allow advertising in there?
Maybe,
Like,
I don't know.
Advertising the notification tray.
The other thing is I believe this is going to fall under the same category as the G Flex. It's more of a proof of concept, we did it first type deal, not really something that's going to be a leader of the market. I can't see it. It's just, hey, we did it, you know.
Yeah, because the email I got today talked about how definitely the Note 4 is coming to Canada. They're just working out the details. And then they're testing the market viability for other markets for the Note Edge. So we don't know if it's ever going to come to Canada. Martin, you're next.
Yeah, I mean, in theory it's great, but if I'm holding my phone in my hand and I have the Edge, my fingers are fat. They're going to be scrolling through those notification edges all the time, and it's going to piss me off.
There's got to be something to turn it off. Like, because you know how they've been fixing on some of the phones how they turn off the edge touches so you don't do that, right? And then the S5 had that built in where it recognizes whether it's just an accidental thumb press.
Here's the problem. I mean, if you do that, when you actually want to go and click on the goddamn thing,
got to be something. They've got to think. Hopefully they thought.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Well, I absolutely know where you're going. Because for me, it's on. Because if you look at it, it's on the right side edge of the phone. I always use my phone with my left hand. My phone is in my left hand. You see where my fingers are all on that band.
Same here.
So I would have to start
click,
holding
click,
my phone slightly different, so I don't hold that. And I've already had to slightly hold my phone a little bit different to use the back buttons on the G2. Oh, and that's the other thing. The Note 4 has a camera button back there. You saw that.
Or exactly what Tom said. It'd be a perfect place to just, I dropped my phone. Oh, my screen is cracked. I'm screwed.
Oh yeah, that's I'm just waiting for iFixit to tell me how bad the Note Edge would be to fix.
Right?
That's gonna be terrible.
So yeah, that might not be the best idea.
Yeah. So Cass, you were next, I think.
Yeah. Did they actually say that that's going to be active and touchable? Because
I haven't watched any of the hands-on videos yet.
Yes, it is touchable. The guy was scrolling through the widgets and stuff, and apparently, if you're using your phone, I'm down here.
Yeah.
If you scroll over to the side, it actually extends like a toolbar. So if you actually sweep the curved edge, a little toolbar expands out to a greater part of the screen and let you customize that a bit more. Is what they showed on the hands-on review.
That doesn't necessarily. I mean, mine you swipe in from the edge and I get a toolbar as well. So I'm sure that people always wonder whether Samsung's making good decisions, and I have found over time, regardless of what you think of their bloatware, their design is actually pretty solid, and they do think about a lot more things than people, like when they see it, they always go, oh, it's plastic, oh, it's got Band-Aid edges, and yet when you actually hold the device, they've clearly done their ergonomic research. So, all these things, you think they didn't have product testing where people went, hey, every time I touch the edge, it does this. So
yeah. I imagine that, I'm hoping that all that stuff's kind of worked away. It's one of those things you probably have to sit down and play with it, because you watch these videos. And I haven't had a chance to really to try it watch the videos myself. But I mean, you guys that go to the show, they go to the shows and they hold it for like maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You really can't get an appreciation for what goes on in under 2 minutes.
No,
Right,
you need
moving
at
on.
least a 24-hour use of it.
At least 24 hours of usage, not just I use it today, went to bed, and I use it in the morning. Moving on, Samsung also announced the Gear VR, so their answer to the Oculus Rift. So that looks kind of cool. That to me, with the announcement, they also talked about how the Room 3 was going to be compatible with the Gear VR, which is kind of cool. That was I remember the Gear VR, how it's very immersive and very move around. So that would be kind of cool to see. Anybody else think about the Gear? Anyone else have any thoughts of those virtual realities? If that makes any sense to anybody, or gimmick?
Not my idea. It's too far ahead for me.
I think that's going to be one of those things that's people who don't like 3D glasses in theaters are probably not going to enjoy the this at this time. You know, early days, so it'll take a bit of shaking out, more than many pieces of hardware take.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I guess the biggest thing is going to be coming down to cost. Same with Oculus Rift, everybody keeps talking about that. I mean, it's a cool thing. People might like want to use it, but I mean, if it's like $1,000, then forget it. You know. Anyways, we'll see more about that down the road. Now, also we had, besides Samsung event, we had a Sony event today. We talked about some. Is there another comment? Oh, Martin had one more comment.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be like the 3D TVs where it never flew off the shelf.
Oh, we have one of those, but we're not getting one of these VR things.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So.
No.
You never know what's going to take off, and you know what? Kudos to them at least trying to be playing in the building. If you got billions to burn, why not try to be in every?
Sure.
Just throw your money here. Here.
Take it. All right, Sony event. So we saw the Smartwatch 3. Now, Tom, you've had the Smartwatch 1, Smartwatch 2. Did you have any other watches in that, or that was it? Eh?
I had the Galaxy Gear first generation as well.
Yeah. Smartwatch 3. So.
First smartwatch is a little. The design was pretty ugly. Smartwatch 2 was beautiful. I love the Smartwatch 2. And now the Smartwatch 3, it's kind of resembling the G Watch and the other one that's on the Google Play Store. The name has gone off my head right now. Yeah, it kind of looks like that, but it looks really big, and the screen doesn't occupy enough of the watch. Like the G Watch looks much better than this one. I don't know what Sony was thinking, but hopefully maybe it'll grow on me or something. You know, when I heard Smartwatch 3, I was like, yes, let's get that. And then I look at it and go, I hope the price is right.
I think a lot of people are saying about every smartwatch right now is like, I hope the price is right for that. So, man, it's interesting. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, definitely the smartwatches are where it's at right now, and everybody's releasing. We saw the Asus release one, the Gear.
That was nice looking.
The Gear Live, the G Watch, the Moto 360, which we'll see tomorrow probably at the Moto event. Everybody's releasing one. The G Watch R. Well, Samsung released the Gear Live.
They're releasing like 5.
Yeah.
Instead of 1.
Gear Fit, Gear Neo, Gear 3, Gear. Anyways. So, I mean, it's interesting to see that they come up with it. What I thought was kind of interesting with the Smartwatch 3 is that it came with Android Wear and not their sort of basic smartphone moment. So, I don't know. So, of the group here, the only one that really actually has an Android Wear watch is Sylvain. So, Sylvain, you've been using that for a while. I mean, how much do you love yours?
I absolutely love it. On my wrist, almost all the time. Even today, I was outside putting stuff back in sea cans, and my phone kept beeping, and I was just replying on my watch like this. It's awesome. Love it. Doesn't matter if it's squared. It fits perfectly on my wrist. Love it.
Yeah. And I think that's the idea, right, is that you can be able to start using this and not have to pull my phone out and do whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
That was my main reason, and that's what I use it for.
Yeah.
But I see all those smartwatch coming out, and at some point there's going to be so many. It's going to be like phones. Okay, what do I choose? What do I need?
It's going to be.
Right now it's pretty easy, but
what contract do I have to sign?
Exactly.
Well, hopefully not. That was the Gear that has the LTE card you can get in it. But I mean, what I do like the fact that having them out there is I like having the choices, right? So, and there's a lot of market research that talks about once you start having that 5 to 7 range, that's the perfect number to make your proper decision. And I mean, I'll bash Samsung just a little bit. Sorry, the fact that their Gear watches only work on Samsung, whereas the other ones all work. Even the Sony ones before the Smartwatch 3 work on any other Samsungs or devices. So, Cass, sorry, I missed your comment.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, with all these watches coming out, like, I still really like my Gear Fit. And I think that people really have to evaluate, like, Sylvain really likes his because that he got something that was good for him. I found when I had my Sony watch, it just did nothing for me. Whereas my Gear Fit does what I want. So as people will really have to find the use for their watch. Otherwise, they're going to really feel ripped off. They're a lot of money. And
Well, it's like Glass, like Google Glass. I really,
Yeah.
really, really, really wanted it, right? And I still think it's a very cool thing, but to be honest with you, I don't know if I would use it as much as I probably would have once I got it. Would have been like, oh, this is great, this is cool.
it's $1,500. I can't leave on my bedside table every day.
Now what? Like, so it's one of those things. Yeah, I think the important thing with these smart devices is that we have to understand why is it we want
Mm-hmm.
that device, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be using my phone to talk to it to say, okay, send her a text message, do this. But at the same time, I like being able to see. So for me, the Smartwatch 2, Smartwatch 1 are enough. I like it to look a little sexier, but I don't really need to be answering phone calls or interact. I just want to be able to see, right, most of myself. But again, it comes down to personal opinions of what you're going to use it for, right? So,
Absolutely.
anyways, enough of the smartwatch. We're going to get on to the Z3 series. So they released also the Z3, the Z3 Compact,
Where's
the
Mark?
Z3, the Z3 Compact.
I'll be your
tablet combo.
stand-in today.
So kind of cool. The Z3, which I mean, the one weird thing about the Z3 is it came out so quickly on the heels of the Z2.
Yeah.
So, and the Z2 is pretty awesome. I gotta admit, like Tom is a recent convert to the Sony camp, and is really not looking back right now. A really awesome phone. So the Z3, I mean, again, little iteration jumps here and there on it, not much, but definitely enough to make it go, hey, yeah, definitely that's a better phone. So kind of cool. Tommy, any thoughts on those? The Z3, Z3 Compact?
Yeah, I do. So the Z3 Compact, obviously, you just mentioned, but we also have to remember there was no Z2 Compact, so it's actually a 2-generation jump for the Compact series. So for people looking for the Compact, this actually might be a decent jump to go to. For me as a Note 2 user, I look at the Z2 user, looking at the Z3, I don't see any change except for a more rounded body and a ever so slight bump in specs. Nothing that's really going to enhance my use of a phone. So
Well,
I don't
2
think
liters
it's
of water versus just 1.
yeah, it's just for the Z1 to go to the Z3, maybe. I mean, even Mark's on the Z1, he's like, no, waiting for the Z4. He's buying the Compact 3 for his wife, and that's about it. I don't think anyone is really impressed by the Z3 at this point. I cruise the XDA forums and part of some Xperia blogs and stuff like that, and there's just no following for it right now. And the fact that I just bought mine 2 months ago, and it's already like Sony's moved on already, it's like I really hope they're going to keep updating this, not just abandon it too quick.
Mm-hmm. Cause the weird thing is, like, I didn't realize how soon thereafter, like, oh, and here's the Z3. A year after they released the Z1, I'm like, wow, they made 2 jumps in a year.
Yeah.
That's not
They're
many.
going for 6 months releases, as they said.
Wow, that's
And it's
So
not
they
even
have a
sooner
release
than that.
date for this?
Sorry, say that?
yet. No release date yet.
No, it's speculated to be like a Christmas type thing, but that's only speculation.
Yeah, because the Z2 came out. When did I get to play with it?
A few months back. Not that
April.
June, I think?
April,
Yeah,
June.
not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see.
That's pretty early for a new phone that's in the same series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, but we also besides that, we also have the tablet compact, which is Sony's first 8-inch size tablet. Everything has been a 10-inch up till now, so now they have an 8-inch version, which also, like the Z3 compact, is also the IP65, 68 sealing, which is, again, I think a cool thing. I don't know how I'd need it for a tablet, but definitely in the phones, I think it's definitely a cool thing.
Beach and
Also,
pool.
we saw this. Sorry.
Beach and pool.
Yeah, so I don't bring my tablets to the beach or the pool.
I spent 2 weeks on a beach with my last tablet. So.
Well, tell you what, you can bring me to the beach next time you go, and I'll bring my tablet. I'll try it out.
You pay for the plane ticket.
So, anyways, let's take a look here. The next accessory that came out was the QX30, which was their little NFC camera. You put in the back there, right? Little camera doohickey that is Sony, which has a 30 times optical zoom. And there's the QX1. The QX1 had a little, but also uses what they call their E-mount lens. So if you've been using the Sony Alpha camera with their E lenses, you can take those lenses and use that with the QX1, which I thought was really cool. For those of you who are a bit of a photog person and already have some of those lenses on your Sony Alpha, but you can bring it with your QX1 and use your phone if you want to bring your bag with you. Like I have my camera bag back over there, and it's still a large bag of lenses and all that kind of stuff. And I just never brought it around because it's just become too cumbersome. So this is kind of a little way to sort of mitigate some of that stuff.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Great, and then we should see the Moto event tomorrow, so we should see the Moto X+1, or the next all-new Moto X, or whatever you want to call it. And potentially the Moto 360. I mean, that's going to be an obvious. I think the Moto 360.
It would be about time. Just spit it out. I want to throw money at it.
The 360? You want the round?
I want the round without the bars.
That little thing at the bottom?
Doesn't bother me.
Then you gotta wait for the new LG.
The G Watch R.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Samsung one coming out as well, so there'll be a bunch of them too.
So you never know. I mean, that's the one thing. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And Tom is saying there's potentially this Moto tablet coming out as well, which would be kind of neat. Moto hasn't had a tablet since the Zoom.
Actually, I was poking fun at the Moto X1 because it's supposed to be like 5-inch plus, like it's going to be like a phablet.
Oh, okay.
I was poking fun that they're releasing a new tablet. It's actually going to be like a Note clone almost.
Wasn't there, again, I'm trying to stay away from the rumors these days, but that Shamu, they called it or whatever, the product?
Not sure. I know it's rumored to said they're making two phones, one even larger, which could be the next Nexus X.
Yeah, Nexus
That's
X.
the rumor. Again, I use the word rumor.
You know how much we love rumors this circuit.
Yeah,
here.
Ryan's favorite word.
I'll be the
I'm
next.
going to have to start labeling the blog with rumors just to see Ryan going.
Well, whatever.
Well, why don't you give them to that TK guy?
There you go. Create an account for TK. There you go.
We'll all get sued. Be careful. This guy don't sell no
Not me. I'm not saying anything.
Anyways, IFA starts on the 5th officially, so up till now it's all been sort of just each of the OEMs doing their special thing on their own. But then once IFA kicks off, we're going to start seeing a bunch of cool things from other products as well. So I'm interested to
Looking
see
forward to that.
on 5 days of IFA, so we'll see that. But speaking of new products, within the time of IFA, we're going to have an announcement, from Apple. September 9th, they're going to release the iPhone 6. Tom is getting lined up, ready for his spot in line.
Ha!
So it's only, 6 days away, and people are already lining up, apparently. And this is not even an event where people could even buy the phone, potentially. This is the announcement. Now, Tom, you lined up at one time.
I did. I lined up for the iPhone 4. On the launch day, it took me 8 hours from 6 a.m. in the morning till I actually got in the Apple Store and made my purchase. You know, at the time, it was hype. I made a lot of friends doing it. It was a pleasurable experience. Would I do it again? No, I felt so sick when I got home. Like, standing there for 8 hours I can't do it. But you know what? It was really awesome for the Apple guys because they came out with trolleys of water, smart water, granola bars, and they didn't have to do any of that. And they came every hour. You want some water? You want some food? You know, for a company to do that, it's actually quite nice because they don't have to, right? So as Ryan was saying, people are already lining up for the phone to be released, they think, soon. And they're actually being paid to be there, so they're not there on their own accord. So some guys offering up what's said to be, they speculate $7,000 is what we're reading on the blogs and stuff, that There's these
Wow.
people charged by the hour. So, I mean, again, that's just all hearsay, but
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, and the comment that somebody wrote in the document here is, should we care as an iPhone release? And I think as an Android community, we should think about it a little bit, because what separated Android apart was the large screens. Everyone's like, oh, wow, the screens are so beautiful. And it actually lured a lot of people to Android. So now iPhone comes with these big screens saying, hey, I have like $200 worth of purchased apps. Maybe I can go over there and try them again. You know, it may be enough to sway some people over. Just saying.
You never
But
know.
does
I
that
mean,
really matter? Like, seriously,
Not
whatever
anymore.
phone works for somebody is what works for them. You like this
It comes down to personal choice.
Oh, yeah, of course,
Absolutely.
but you got to rep your team, right?
Oh, right. Sorry. That's awful. People shouldn't switch back.
Yes, damn those
This is
heathens.
lifetime commitment.
I'm just looking at. I'm interesting to see what the iPhone users will say about the size. But I've had.
I know what they'll say.
I've heard both sides of the thing.
Perfect.
Well, maybe it'll be okay.
I
I've heard
keep
some people
hearing,
say,
fuck
"No, we
this, I don't
need
want a big
bigger."
screen.
So, I'd be
They're
interested
going to
to
be,
see.
hey, I have big icons, look.
Okay, before we get too far, this has actually been confirmed that they are going to have NFC on the new iPhones.
Yeah.
And
that was
now, my biggest question is the NFC going to be locked for only iPhone to iPhone interactions, or will the barrier be bridged to Android that we can actually beam an iPhone user a photo? Can we
Wouldn't that be
beam them a
something
web
awesome?
link, a contact?
I
I mean,
don't
that would
hope
really
so.
open the world, but you know, looking at Apple's track history, do you really think they're going to do that?
Well, I don't
So-
think Beam is going to work. I mean, Beam won't work between. I mean, I remember back in the Palm Pilot days, if you had a Palm Pilot and you had another, like a Sony Clie, the IR Beam sometimes didn't work between the two different brands. That's fine. I can see. I don't care to share photos with iPhone users. That's fine. But what I'm more concerned about is the mobile payment system. I mean, Apple's going to come out how like they invented NFC and mobile payments, so this is going to be interesting. Seeing as primarily a lot of the NFC tags you can buy out there will have Android stickers on them and everything. But it'd be interesting how they break into the purchasing market of the near field payments. I want to see how that
Well,
and whether that.
I'm sure it will it'll just take off because Apple invented it, and their fanboys will just go, "Ooh, mobile payments." I mean, people get ready for that.
My cappuccino.
Same with when they bring out their watch in 3 years, everybody will be just going, "Hey, they made a watch. That's perfect."
I can't believe anybody made this up beforehand.
Yeah, they let everybody else do their market research for them.
Exactly. Anyway, so
Look at this. We're talking about people's personal choice, and now we're slamming Apple users.
No, I'm not slamming a user. They just wait until they know what people want, or the majority of people.
We're slamming the concept used afterward. It's already been released.
Anyways, let's move along here. So Apple's event. HTC announced recently that they're going to increase the Google Drive storage for up to 100 gigabytes for M8 and M7 users. Also,
M8,
M8,
M7,
M7,
and a few others. I mean, the minis as well. I mean, if you log into your Google Drive account on your computer, you'll just see, hey, we've just given you 100 gigabytes free storage for the next 2 years.
I'll have to have you log into my Google Drive on your phone for me.
Yeah, please.
Because I just noticed today too that Dropbox announced extra storage for the Note users, sort of they normally do. So I think it was a nice play that Google stepped in and said, hey, well HTC, don't forget about them. But kind of interesting to see what some of the other companies are positioning themselves as. Sony's announcing this, Samsung's announcing this, HTC comments on this. I saw
Google's already given me like 6 months free of storage so far. So
yeah, and then LG made a big comment about, oh well, and don't forget, like we were, the LG 3 was. What was it? Global Mobile Awards 2014 winner, the most innovative. So they made a post today about that award. So it's kind of funny, like big news comes out, all the other companies that have flagships like don't forget about us. So, anyways, interesting stuff. Google is now also looking. Now this hasn't been confirmed, but also looks like they have a program now to replace your Nexus 5 if it breaks. So unconfirmed, but potentially a good way for them to clear some of the old stuff off of their off the shelf, because potentially it was October, right, that the Nexus 5 came out, so we're getting close to that time frame for the next Nexus. So anyways, interesting to see. Now, probably what a few of you are probably here waiting for, we're going to talk about...
Hold on, Sylvain has a comment.
Sorry, Sylvain.
I just wanted to say about the Nexus 5 replacement program. If it's really happening, that's awesome, because, I just sold my Nexus 5 for the OnePlus, but I'm just trying to imagine if I break my OnePlus, well, for sure I'm not going to get a replacement for it, because I won't be able to. But yes, good program.
Yeah. Well, HTC has a program where in the first 6 months, if it breaks, no questions asked. Okay. Motorola was supposed to have had one, but I've heard a couple more stipulations on it. But yeah, so interesting to see. And it sounds like, Tom, it sounds like the rumors people are talking about, they were previously purchased Nexus 5s that had broken. They said.
Oh, okay. For everyone at home, the question I asked was, does it apply to only newly purchased, or like if you bought it like 4 months ago? That was my question I asked to Ryan.
Yeah, so it looks like it will cover for anybody. Okay, so moving on, let's go into the end of summer giveaway. So thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Thank you for everybody for entering the giveaway, sharing it, share the love. It's only through readers like you guys who share this that we get more hits, that I can then turn to the OEMs and say, listen, we've got some readers who are interested in your stuff. Let's give it away. So I was able to use some of those stats and be able to provide and get and ask people for giveaways. So let's go through it. So the Nest 30, I have 2 of these. I'm going to give away my personal one that I use just for my review. So the first one we're going to give away to Clinton Hammond. Thank you, Clinton, for tuning in. The second one is going to Juan B. I think it is. I can't remember what his last name was. I quickly did these before the show. Didn't want to do these all live. Juan Brito is that one. So that's the Nest 30. We have the S5 screen. That screen things. We're going to go to Jefferson Desthemony. I'm going to ruin that up if it makes sense. And then the Moto X screen we have going to Reini McEachern, is it? Reini McEachern? I'm ruining people's names. I'm a teacher, I should know better. The cables in the NFC, we're going to go to Paul Bryden. So the glow-in-the-dark cables, these are cool. I got to say, I have these on my bedside. And the NFC tags from Tilt, those are going to Paul Bryden. We have the charge card that Cass is going to be mailing out to Darren Young. So I'm going to be posting this later, guys, and so everybody should be getting some information to me with your emails, and I'll be posting it around. And then the big winner, the tablet, the Galaxy Tab 4, brand new in a box, hasn't been opened whatsoever. This is going to Peter Vogel.
Nice.
So congratulations to the winners again. So that's Clinton Hammond, Juan Brito, Jefferson Desthemony, Reini McEachern, Paul Bryden, Peter Vogel, Darren Young. Those are all the winners. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for entering. And beyond, please continue to keep with your comments, not just for the contest, but everything else. I was really surprised. I'm really happy that the people that won, I've seen their names posted before. They've commented on our stuff here before. I saw a lot of names in our list that I've never seen before, which is cool. I appreciate people.
Nice.
But, I mean, I like seeing people that are here more often. And again, this was totally random. I promise you 100%. Otherwise, you would have seen a lot more of Thunder Bay people winning, and I wouldn't have to have had shipped these things away.
Except for the one in Alberta. One in Alberta and everyone else in Thunder Bay.
Damn it. Would have thought of that. But anyway, so guys, again, I want to thank Samsung. I want to thank 8-Bit. I want to thank Color Cables. I want to thank Tilt. Who else am I missing here? They've been great for being able to give this stuff away to us. They've been really, a lot of these companies have been really good for us. Now, I promised something for those of you who didn't win. and there's going to be a little bit of a secret down the road, but I'll let you guys in on the secret now. We're going to be giving away a G3. So not this G3 that I've been using. This is one that's going to go back, but it'd be a brand new one. I don't know if it's what carrier it's going to be for, if it's going to be for Bell or if it's going to be for Rogers or Telus or whatever. Telus doesn't get it, but I will be getting it. I just need to finalize with LG the contest details. So take a look and keep watching for us. We will have that up on the site, a G3. So that's, I gotta say, probably the biggest item we've given away. The Tab 4 was the biggest item we've ever given away. So congratulations, Pete, on that. But this G3 is going to be coming out down the road. So keep your eyes peeled to our site for the more giveaways. The more you guys keep coming back, the more you keep interacting with us, the more we can ask.
The more stuff we can ask and get for you guys.
By all means. One other thing I want to talk about our giveaway. We got a lot of nice responses from it, obviously, but I asked 2 other questions when you signed up. Was any questions and suggestions you might have for improvement? And I really liked seeing a lot of the comments you guys had for our blog. I'll be sharing with the team later. Really good, thoughtful feedback, people, and I really appreciate it. I've also had a lot of nice questions asked. I asked you guys to give us a question that we can answer for you maybe sometime on air. A lot of really good questions. I think we could just do a show just on these questions. Not tonight because we're getting near that long part of the night. But again, you guys, I'm blown away by our reader feedback here. This is why we're doing it, because we like being part of this community, and I'm glad that you guys can take part in this with us as well. So anyways, we'll leave it there for the rest of the show, and yeah. So anybody have any final thoughts for the night?
No, all good here.
No, it's one of those nights where there's nothing.
Wow, there was a lot. We talked about a lot already. We do have a lot. And
we covered a lot of ground.
And we're anticipating more with tomorrow's bit, right? So it'd be interesting to see some of the new stuff that comes out. Sylvain, good to see you back.
Thank you.
Always good to see a familiar face like that. He's been attempting to give up Google Plus for the month of September. So this doesn't count because it's just Hangouts, but
that's right.
You can still reach him on Twitter and on Facebook, I think, right?
Not Facebook, no.
No, just Twitter.
Just Twitter.
You're on Twitter?
Yeah, of course.
Follow you, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah, I follow you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm now scared.
Oh.
All right. Well, everybody, this has been awesome. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Oh, come on. Is that your response on Twitter?
Well done.
Yeah.
That's me on Twitter.
Because it's
I'm
mostly
so active.
Google, right? Anyways, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next week. That'll be September the 10th.
Same bat channel.
Same bat channel, same bat time. Everybody's good for time next week?
Should be. Nothing flying on my hand.
Oh, we've missed you, Sylvain, and your.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting hats and glasses on us.
All right. All right, guys. See you later. See you next week.
All right, take care.
Ciao.
Good night.
Good night, guys.